Oh, thank you very much indeed. Now this, if Congress does not act, January the 1st, in Oregon, the estate tax exemption level will return to just $1 million, with a maximum tax rate of 55% on everything over that. Scott Page from the Lifeline program is here. He's back, actually. We had him on earlier. Great performer. Scott, welcome back.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Now, I'm trying to work this out. You run a business where you buy life insurance policies from people before they pass away.
Correct.
You give them 20, 30 cents on the dollar, and basically you're gambling on when they die, but they get the money up front, a fraction of it, and you get the policy, and it's paid off when they decease, when they die. If you raise the estate tax to 55% on everything over $1 million, what does that do to your business?
I think it's great for our business because if the ceiling stays at the $5 million level where it is now, I think there are a lot of people that are overinsured because their estate's never going to meet that $5 million threshold. So we think people will be rushing to sell their life insurance policies to get out of the estate and get the funds when they need it today.
So the lower the threshold, lower it down to $1 million, and a lot of people will be getting money which they don't actually need. Come on, tell me again. I'm lost.
Okay. Let's start to keep it basic.
Yes.
If it drops to the $1 million threshold, which we believe it will, I think there will be people who need to sell their life insurance because they may have bought it years ago and they bought products that are more expensive and outdated. Today you can buy new life insurance for lower rates. So someone should consider selling their old policy, getting the proceeds from a life settlement, and buying a new policy that's more appropriate to take into account the new tax law.
So good for your business.
Very good for our business.
You think that this will actually go to just a $1 million exclusion? Because that's as low as it's been in decades, I think, right?
Unfortunately, I think it will. It just seems like Congress is so divided that it's going to be very difficult to continue what went on with the Bush tax era. That $5 million ceiling, I think it's going to drop to the $1 million level.
But if suppose I've got a life insurance policy and I sell it to you, I get some money out of it before I die. Doesn't that add on to my estate? And with a lower threshold, I'm more likely to cross that threshold because I got the money.
Well, you know, first it becomes a very emotional issue when you talk about death and dying and life insurance. But if you receive the proceeds from a life settlement, you are taxed, but you get to subtract all the basis. So you subtract all the premiums you paid into it. And if you're talking about a settlement between 20 to 30%, the tax amount will be 15%. It's going to be very small. So in most cases, you're better off selling your policy today and enjoying your life, because who knows what will happen in this economy.
Do you develop a bedside manner when you're asking people to sell to you their life insurance policies before they pass away? Well,
we do accept this as a very emotional transaction. You know, we're not robbing people of their funeral insurance. You know, I was going to bring my sickle with me, but they wouldn't let me through TSA or my 4-ounce shampoo.
We did the organ music.
I know the organ music. Thank you very much.
And just to repeat, you pay about 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. So if somebody was getting $1 million when they die, you might give them $200,000 or $300,000 up front.
Correct. And if you take into account they had that policy for 10 years, and let's say it's a $1 million policy with a 10-year life expectancy of a 75-year-old. They paid $50,000 a year up to the point they sold it to us. Now we have to continue paying those premiums for the remainder of the year. So we take on the risk.
Okay.
So you may get $200,000 for your policy, and the basis may be exactly $200,000 for what you've paid in the premiums, but now we're going to carry that premium for 10 years. So we could pay another $500,000 to keep the policy in force. So we're taking the risk that you might die in 10 years and you might not. So hopefully, if you sell us your life insurance policy, I'm sure you'll beat the odds.
And you are gambling upon my demise.
Gambling on your demise.
Scott Page, always interesting. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much.